Say what's happening. You already know who this is. This is your dude, GKA, the prodigal son from the fine organization that I call Group 5 Group Social Fellowship Incorporated. And I got this young, handsome young man right here that's going to introduce himself to the world. Go ahead.
What's up? My name is Peter. I attend Texas Southern, and I'm a junior, and I major in computer engineering.
Okay, cool. What made you go for that engineering?
I've always loved computers as I was a kid, and so I just thought that I could transfer that love into like a career, and that I could basically channel that into doing something better for the industry.
Okay, cool. You know, the engineering industry don't have that many seasonal folks, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So how would you change the dynamics of that industry with bringing a little season?
I think in terms of that I could I'm not necessarily sure on that.
I know. That's a deep question.
It is.
That's a deep question. Because if you look at the dynamics of it, especially of that structure, it's not that many seasonal folks, again, if you know what I mean. So how are you going to strategize against that so therefore you can move within that structure? Ooh, that's a great question, huh?
I think in terms of that, you could maybe only hire like seasonal, not only, but like work towards getting more seasonal employees instead of like full-time or like part-time. People who have like more flexible schedules.
Okay.
And like you can go for that kind of workforce instead of.
Okay, cool. I feel that. So, as Americans, we had to go to vote.
Yeah.
As we know. How did you feel about that turnout?
Well, to be honest, it's not really surprising, considering what this country's been built upon, racism and hatred towards women. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially black women. It's not really a surprising turnout at all. Honestly, I think Kamala got a lot closer than I thought she would. It was actually close at one point, but the turnout, I'm not necessarily surprised over.
Man, I ain't gonna act like I wasn't surprised either, because people that I've been speaking to so far, they've been acting totally surprised, like this is not the America that was established with the 13 colonies. You get what I'm saying? So, but it's crazy because just like I was telling you about the structure of the engineering, it's the same thing in society.
Yep. It's the exact same. Like, there's always a structure, and even though that America has gone through a lot of like reform and a lot of things have changed, the structure, like the way the government works, it's still similar. There's always going to be systematic like racism or like prejudice against a different culture of people that isn't white, wealthy people. It will never, at least for the meantime, that will not ever change.
That is true, but it's crazy though, because at the end of the day, it's like, how can we move when we know what's the deal? You know what I'm saying? It's like, how can we really navigate through a system that really not acknowledging certain people in America?
Yeah. And honestly, that's a great question. It's kind of like we have to navigate like carefully around that, because there's so many things that are trying to pin us down or like stopping us from coming up as a people. But at least for the meantime, I think we have to change the way the government works. That's where we need to start, because it's so engraved into the system that it's like, I don't even know how to explain it, but like it's so engraved into the system that it's really hard to like make any progress if the system works so much against us as a people.
You know what's crazy, but do you think, I think one thing that we have to change as a culture is our own self-identity. I think if we change the narrative of our own identity, we can help the structure of certain things within the American culture. And I really believe that by us, I ain't gonna say lacking identity, but don't have a core of our identity, is kind of hurting us in a way.
I think so too, because a lot of us are disenfranchised in a way. Like we're kind of all over the place. We don't have like a true like solid identity of ourselves yet, and that could be hurting us in a way because we can't like unite as a people because we're always like splitting ourselves into different groups of like African Americans, Black Americans, like all that. It can be kind of hard because it doesn't allow us to truly like embrace and empower Black people as a whole.
We're gonna keep it like that, G. I want to wish you the best on your pathway of engineering, and bro, we need people like you out there, and remain silent, and also keep your integrity no matter what.
Yes, sir. Always got to stay true to yourself and never let, never, always stay true to yourself and never let your environment or whatever change you. Just be who you are. And yeah, things.
Things gonna be what it is.
Yup.
Already, my guy. Thank you.